If you're an SEO agency and you're still just doing SEO and you're doing it like it's 2012, you're out of business and you just don't know it yet. And I'm going to show this to you because this document right here is something that we give to our Blueprint training members, and it's called the offer design process. Now, an offer is essentially what you do as a business, your service offering, and how it is that you're going to take your clients from I'm not getting results or I'm not getting leads or I'm not getting traffic to you're making them money, right? So that offer is that in between. It's your service offering. It's exactly what you're doing for clients to get them there. Now, SEO agencies traditionally struggle with this because you're like, I do SEO. That's what we do. And it's just not enough anymore. And it's not enough that just SEO isn't enough, but it's also just that you're doing it for the wrong people and it's not working. You're doing the wrong type of SEO. Again, you're doing SEO like it's 2012, meaning you're just building content and building links and expecting them to make more money, or you're not stacking your offer in terms of adding other things into it that's going to ultimately help them to get to where they want to be. So this right here, again, this is a workbook that we give out inside of the Blueprint training for our members. You fill it out and then you post it inside of our Slack community, and I do this, I give you feedback on it. So this one just came in inside of Slack, so let's go through it and let's talk about what this person can do with their offer to make it a little bit better. So the first thing here that we do is we just have you fill out a bunch of different questions here, because what we have to do is we have to dig into the problems, the pain points, the fears, the anxieties, and the main troubles that your prospect is having. Now, before you even do this, we put you through a workbook called the positioning workbook, because what you have to be able to do is you got to be able to drill into a singular who before you do the what. So before the what, which is your offer, comes the who. Who are you doing this for? And a lot of you are a jack of all trades but a master of none. You're trying to do SEO for every single type of business out there, or all local businesses. It's not enough. The market's too competitive. Google is too focused, right? There's just too much going on in there for you to try and be a master of all different types of SEO. It does not work like that anymore. You have to pick a singular who, whether that's software businesses, whether that's contractors. For me, it's lawyers. It could be e-commerce businesses. It could be just Shopify websites that sell women's shoes. The more specialized, the better. And you're going to see why that's important, because when we talk about building an offer and we talk about stacking different things inside of that offer to really get your clients results, you can't do that if you're working with e-commerce and then a software business, then a lawyer, because it's different types of marketing. Marketing an e-commerce business is dramatically different than marketing an attorney's business. We're talking about influencers, we're talking about paid ads, we're talking about shopping ads for e-commerce versus attorneys. We're talking about local search, we're talking about LSA. It's completely different. And you can't expect to be great at all those things. You got to focus on a singular who, because then you can really build an offer that's going to get them results. So what these questions are meant to drill into here is really, what is their main end result? What do they care about the most? So I'll give you an example again. We work with attorneys. They only care about one thing. They don't care about traffic. They don't care about rankings. They don't even care about leads. They care about qualified phone calls, right? Because let me break that down for you why that is. If you're an attorney, a lead could be an email that came in. It could be a form submission. It could be a chat. It could be a phone call, right? Let's say you get a form submission or a chat or an email. What do you ultimately have to do with that person? You have to try and get them on the phone, right? So that's technically like a form submission to an attorney. An educated attorney is not a lead, because they still have an extra step of trying to get them on the phone. And anybody who's ever tried to get somebody on the phone knows you might get half those people on the phone. So they don't care about leads, they care about qualified phone calls, right? And again, qualified is another key word that we put in there, because they don't want any phone call. They do personal injury law. They want phone calls that are coming in about car accidents, slip and falls, or maybe they don't want slip and falls. Maybe they just want car accidents or brain injuries, whatever that is. Like, they want qualified phone calls. They don't want to waste time on the phone with people looking for a divorce attorney, because that's not what they do. So qualified phone calls, that's important. And we talk about really making your agency stand out. It's knowing what your end customer cares about the most. You have to become a master of that industry if you really want to stand out in today's market, because it's just too competitive. So these questions will help you to do that. So now we start to talk about actually building the offer. And what I like to coach here is, over here, we like to put in, you fill in this little green box here for what is their main pain point here. And then over here, what do they care about the most? What are they ultimately hiring you for? What is their thing that's keeping them up at night? So this is one that somebody filled out, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of a tear down here. So the customer pain point that they put in is lack of leads for home services companies. So I like that they have home services. I like that they're talking about leads. Now we come over here, what they care about the most, they put high rankings, better converted site, more high quality leads. That's three things. And I'm telling you right now, I've worked with contract home services companies before. They don't care about high rankings. They don't care about a better converting website. That's you, the agency, telling that they care about that, because those are things that lead to their ultimate outcome, which is what? They want more money. That's what they care about. They want more high quality leads. And even more than that too, I would make to argue that most home services companies don't have a problem with leads. I've been in the real estate investing space for a while. I've renovated a few homes, and I can tell you every single contractor that I've worked with, whether it's a general contractor, whether it's a roofer, whether it's a plumber, whether it's HVAC, their phone is ringing off the freaking hook. Their problem is not necessarily getting leads. They get leads all the time, referrals, Angie's List, they just come in. They really do. What they struggle with is closing high quality leads, right? So when we talk about refining an offer and getting it to what they ultimately care about, that's what we want to focus on. You have to know this industry very well. And I would also say that home services is a little bit too broad, especially if you're just getting started. Home services is roofing, HVAC, pressure washing, plumbers, electricians. All of those are a little bit different, right? So again, the more niche that you can go in with the who, the better that your offer is going to come out. And again, when we focus in over here at the end outcome, the end goal, what they ultimately care about, we want to keep this as blunt and as simple as possible. We don't want to put 3 things in there. It's too much for them, especially home services guys. Come on, it's way over their heads. Like if you just go to them and you're like, hey, I'm going to get you high ranking. I'm going to build you a better converted website. Most of them will be like, ranking in what? And converting, like what does conversion mean? It's over their head. Keep it simple for them. They just want what they want and what they care about the most, which is they want to sign more high value home service jobs is what they want. If they're an HVAC person, right? They don't want to come in and do a 150 inspection. They want to come in and do a full AC $15,000 reinstall. Or if it's roofing, they don't want to come out and fix a single tile or check for a leak. They want to do a $30,000 roofing job. So that's what we want to focus on. And that then refines this, because these then becomes, okay, if this is their problem and this is what they care about, how do we take them to here? What are the things that we need to do? What is our service? What is our actual offer that we're going to do to get them to where they are here? And that helps us refine things. Because again, if you're saying we're going to get you high rankings, a better converting website, more high quality leads, dude, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. And I know that most home services companies are not going to want to shell out $10,000 to $15,000 off for it, right? So you need to keep this as simple as possible. What do they care about the most? How are you going to get them there? The simplest, profitable, easiest, most effective way. Profitable for you and profitable for them. So we talk about that. If we're saying, okay, let's actually focus on roofing companies. I actually work with a very large roofing company in Wisconsin. They're doing like 30 million a year. They're crushing it. So I have very intimate insights into what these companies actually care about and how we can get them results. So again, we're going to say they want high quality leads. We're going to call that high paying jobs, right? High paying roofing jobs. How are we going to get them there? Okay. Well, what I would do, knowing this, knowing what I think is an outcome, is I need to rank them in the Google Maps pack. I know for a fact that ranking them organically in the Google Maps pack is going to drive a ton of phone calls and they don't have to pay for them. That's number 1. 2, though, is that takes time. It's not fast. It's not easy to rank in the Maps pack. It's probably going to take 6, 8, 12 months depending on where they are, maybe 3 depending. So how are we going to impact them even faster? Local service ads. Local service ads are the ads that show up right on top of the SERPs. They're pay per lead, they're pay per action. Super easy to set up, doesn't cost you a lot of time and money. It's easy for them to understand because they're paying per phone call. And you can actually go to Google and say, LSA calculator, and Google will tell you what the estimated cost per lead is. So when you're pitching them, you can tell them, hey, let's budget an extra $2,000 per month for LSAs, and I guarantee you, I'm gonna get you 20 more phone calls next month. So that's why LSAs are so good. So now we look at this person put in 1, a compelling and attractive site. I don't like that either, because compelling and attractive is subjective. Attractive to who? To you or to them? You're gonna tell me that you have the same taste in design as a roofer? No. Compelling, also confusing language. We don't know what that means. Keyword research, non-page SEO, professional photography and content creation, local citation. So I can also tell you that just doing these 4 things is not gonna lead there. It's just not, right? It's not going to drive high quality leads because the SEO service is incomplete, number 1. And number 2, like, we don't need professional photography. This is a nice to have for sure, right? If they don't have like professional headshots, that's a nice to have, but like, they're not going to want to pay for that. And also this is not going to directly impact this. Professional photography is not going to impact high rankings, or what we care about the most, more phone calls. It's just not. So you need to keep the main thing the main thing. If the main thing these small things aren't driving towards the main thing, cut it out. Don't do it. You can add it later, We talk about stacking offers and getting more advanced with this stuff, but we're talking about doing what the clients care about. Cut it out. So here's what I would do, right? If I'm going to do local SEO and LSAs, the first thing that I would do, I would set up the LSAs. So LSAs are going to drive phone calls within a week, within a day, very quickly. And as soon as you get their phone ringing, you know what happens? Breathing room. It's going to give you space. It's going to give you space to operate. It's going to buy you a lot of goodwill with the client, and it's going to help you deliver on that end goal right away. Do you know what it is? If you're promising and coming in, a lot of SEOs struggle with this. They're not comfortable saying, I'm going to get you leads, because they know, you know, that SEO is probably not the best way to do it because it takes so long. So if you can add LSAs or some sort of paid traffic in there to get them leads immediately, guess what? They're going to give you a lot of breathing room and space. Then they're going to say, yeah, sure, I don't care if it takes 6 months to get SEO because I'm getting phone calls now. And overall, I'm paying you $5,000 a month total with ad spend. I'm making 10. Take all the time you need. I'm happy, right? So I would do LSAs number 1, set these up right away. 2, this would be like your local optimizations. So that would be like Google Business Profile optimizations, review outreach plan, all that within the local space. 3 would be overall website and content optimization. So that would be making sure that they have requisite local landing page content, that they've got, just a full filled out website from a Google search point of view that has enough content material on it to rank for these queries. And then the final piece would be link building, local link building. So that would be local citations, that would be reaching out to local press, local bloggers, trying to figure out a way to punch them up organically. So those 4 things right there, you can see how I just rebuilt this. 1, I've refocused this. 2, I've been much more descriptive in how I'm going to get them to what they want to get to. But most importantly, I'm going to get them what they care about the most, which is high quality, high paying jobs. That's it. That's how we go through this process, guys. We want to keep the main thing the main thing. We need to make sure that we're finding the main thing. And we need to make sure that we know exactly who we're talking to. So that's it. This is like a very simple exercise, but it's so powerful, because once you have that figured out, now you've got the North Star metric for your business figured out. Now you know you've got your business aligned, because ultimately your product is your service, it's your offer. And if you're not delivering on what clients care about, you're going to struggle. You're going to spin your wheels, because if you try and go out and pitch this, it's going to be really hard to sell this, because it's not delivering on what they care about. You work for clients. You need to know what they want and what they care about. And once you do that, then you align everything else in your business to meet that goal. And now you're cooking with gas. Now you can build in the right direction. And now, let's say tomorrow Google blows up. We just go right back to the drawing board here. We say, okay, do they still care about signing high quality roofing jobs? Absolutely. Well, Google's no longer the best way to do that. How do we do that? Well, maybe we use Facebook ads, maybe we use TikTok ads, whatever that platform is in 10 years. Maybe it's LLM SEO, who knows? But again, this is the framework to make sure that your agency stays in business forever. So if you guys want access to this, if you want to go through it, you want me to review it, all you got to do is join the blueprint.training. It's $199. You get access to all this, plus the templates, the trainings, live sessions, Slack community. Just post it. I'll take a look and give you feedback just like this. If not, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, Ryan here. Hope you liked that video. If you want more, check out these 2 videos right here on this screen.